Welcome to Pipin' Hot, where the takes are hot and the boys are not. Today's take is
pineapple on pizza is good, actually.
What? The takes are hot. The boys are not. Welcome to Pipin' Hot.
What?
That's all I got.
That was so good. I'm Casey.
And I'm Cameron.
Your beloved hosts of Pipin' Hot, formerly Cam and Casey Cross the Country, the podcast that Podcast Weekly called Irrelevant.
The hottest shit around.
Completely irrelevant.
We crossed the country, so we had to start something new.
We did cross the country because you're back.
I'm back in Maryland. You're in Philly now,
I'm in Philly.
Is a change up, but you know,
and you're in Maryland, which means we can't be here in person. So we're not doing Zoom. We're doing FaceTime. But you know, it's like pandemic Zoom.
Right, exactly. It's with the times. You know, we're doing our best.
We got to get with the times.
Virtual podcasting.
So what is this podcast? What are we doing?
I mean, I think we're just bringing to the table our hottest takes. You know, I think we're starting off with a bit of a banger here, talking about you like pineapple on pizza, which I feel like is not. That's not an opinion shared by most. So I think we're starting off pretty good.
Which I'm upset about.
This is where we're talking about all of our hot takes, from anything from food to music to whatever's going on in the world right now. We're gonna hit it all.
We're two white men who just want to hear ourselves talk about things we think we have authority on.
We talked about this in planning. We were like, what do people need more of? And we were like, two white college kids talking about hot takes.
Talking about things that they have zero authority on.
100%.
Know nothing about.
No.
And so for today, with the pineapple on pizza, I actually made it homemade.
Oh wow.
Doesn't it look kind of sexy?
That looks really good, actually.
It's like a personal pizza.
Okay.
But it's not as fancy as you'd think, because the reason that I made it myself is because I have my monthly budget. I just got back to Philly, so I set up my monthly budget.
Very smart.
And I blew $72 in one night for dinner.
Wow.
For
very
one dinner.
Nice. Very cool.
Because I'm new to 21. I just turned 21. And so I don't know how much drinks cost.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So I went out with my friends. And first of all, I paid for some of the Uber, and it wasn't somewhere like in the city that we could take like SEPTA, so it was an Uber.
Gotcha.
And then we got to the restaurant, and we were gonna do like a happy hour at one restaurant, and then we didn't end up going there, so we went somewhere else. But because it was like cheap drinks, I was just like, I just assumed that it's gonna be cheap still. And so my friend, she was like, I'll have a margarita, and I was like, yeah, I'll have a margarita too. And then we're like halfway through the dinner, and I was like looking at my meal that was like $15, and I was like, this is a little expensive. And then I was like, how much are margaritas again? And she was like, I don't know, like 15. I was like, $15
Oh my God. For one drink. Was it bottomless?
No.
Oh
drinks are just expensive. Like every time, and then I'm like, I want to let's drink this weekend. Like me and my friends just did a night where we like watched Jeopardy and did like the Jeopardy drinking game.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
And so fun. But when you go to get like drinks, it's like $20. Like I don't have that money to spend like every weekend.
I know.
I do not have enough money to be an alcoholic, is what I'm trying to say.
It's an expensive hobby. I guess. It's like a crippling problem.
What do you do for fun? Drink. I feel like people say that, actually.
I feel like it's such a slippery slope though, because individually, like $20 is a lot, don't get me wrong, but $20 out of your monthly budget, you're like, that's not a problem. But then it's like, if you do that $20 night every night for like a week, then like all of a sudden you're out $140, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I need to slow down a little bit, you know, like maybe.
Yeah, I don't know how big your monthly budget is, but $20 is pretty healthy in my monthly budget.
It's hefty for sure. Definitely not. That's not an every night. That's like a the boys are in town.
It's now a once a month occasion.
Once a month, okay. I like.
I mean, I was like, I forgave myself. Like I just got back to Philly and like,
right, yeah.
I wanted to celebrate a little bit. Like I haven't seen my friends in a while, so just got vaccinated.
Yeah, I mean, you've been just flex your vaccination.
I have never done that before.
Well, I'm glad you did it on camera.
I don't
where
know why
everyone
I
can
did
see
it. My sister does it all the time. I think I just have adopted it from her. I swear to you, on Hail Mary full of grace, I have never done that before. Holy shit.
You know what is everyone? We're just excited that like the end is near, though. You know, I think it's been a year now. I think we're ready
so
to get going.
excited.
And honestly, like once you get the vaccine, there is kind of that feeling of like, oh, I'm done. Like I'm done with the pandemic.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
totally.
It's like it is very responsible to be like, you know, you don't want to celebrate, you know, getting it or anything. You know, other people can't get it right now. But at the same time, it is very liberating to be like, you don't have to be paranoid about it all the time. You know,
Yeah,
I mean, it is pretty freeing, I think.
I hung out with strangers for the first time yesterday, which was really nice.
Oh, really?
Like, my friend had a little birthday thing, and it was like only a few people, and like they were all vaccinated. So like, and then I'm gonna go to brunch with them next weekend. So like, it's like fun to like meet strangers again.
That's crazy. Just like thinking about like it's possible again to just be like, you don't have to like plan out who you're seeing every time. You don't have to be like, okay, who's there? Are they like comfortable with it? Like how exposed have they been? Like it's pretty crazy.
Dude, I was looking at the CDC guidelines, and it's like you can hang out with unvaccinated people indoors without being distant if they're like in the same household. And if you see someone with COVID, like you don't have to get tested unless you get symptoms.
Right, yeah, because I guess they're finding out now that like the vaccines do a really good job of like you can't carry it. So like even if you're in contact with someone, it's like you won't pass it on to anyone. So like basically everyone's immune.
Because when I'm drunk, I'm just like, here, have my drink.
Yeah,
drink my drink. Please, can I have a sip of yours?
Can I have a sip of your $15 margarita, please?
Dude, oh my god, it wasn't even that good. Because that's the thing, I shouldn't say that I drink to get drunk, but I'm 21. Like, of course I drink to get drunk.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I mean,
I don't drink for the flavor. I just have
Oh my, that's such a like mid-30s thing to do.
I'll
like,
just have
a single thing
Dr. Pepper if I want it to taste good. I'll just have a chalky milk. Like,
exactly, alcohol's not the way to go for that.
Yeah, like I don't care. It's disgusting.
So nasty. And none of us are mixologists, so we don't know how to make good mixed drinks.
Oh, that's the one thing. Like making mixers in college would just be like Svedka and Gatorade. Like I would just like take my handle that was in this was like I would just take my handle that was in the freezer and then like pour out a little Gatorade and then like pour it into the Gatorade and like shake it up.
Classic.
And so when I think I've only gotten drinks in restaurants like 3 times. Like I can count on my fingers. And the first time I did, I was like, this actually tastes good. I was like, damn.
I'm looking forward to having like a professionally made drink that like just doesn't taste like butt. You know, it's like actually.
I mean, there are some that still taste like butt.
Some of them I bet are pretty bad, but it's like you never know if someone's like. It's basically like remember when we were like 10 and you'd go out to eat and you're like with your friends and you're like I'm gonna get a little bit of each soda. Yeah, and make a suicide. Like that's all it is in college for like 4 years. Except now you've included
with every
alcohol in that mix. But every drink is a suicide basically. They need a better name for that.
They do need a better name for that. It's not very PC.
We gotta stay with the times.
We're trying to stay PC on the pod. That's a great podcast name. We should have gone with something like that.
PC still time to change it.
It hasn't released yet.
We can rebrand half an episode in.
Yeah. Speaking of rebranding, we got to mention the rules of the podcast, which we forgot to do.
That's right. I'm actually Yeah. Do you wanna give it the rundown?
It's so basically like we're doing our shtick. We're just talking up our ass. Like we don't have anything to say.
Classic Cam and Casey,
really.
am I right?
Classic Cam and Casey. We do this anyway, so we just wanted to monetize it essentially.
Yeah, 100%. I have loans to pay.
Our TikTok creator fund will get us the 70 cents that we need.
Yeah.
But to spice it up a little bit, no pun intended. I actually didn't mean to do that.
Okay, I like it.
At random times, one of us can say, "Eat a jalapeno." Just eat a whole jalapeno.
And for all the viewers at home, we're talking like I got this a couple of hours ago from Amazon. Amazon. It was Whole Foods. But I had to Prime it because the only thing around here is a Target. And Target.
I think yours is a little bigger than mine. Here's the thing. I'm not even really anticipating what this is gonna taste like because I don't like ever really eat jalapenos with the seeds. Like it's just like always in dishes where the seeds are like taken out or like sprinkled on top or something.
Ironically enough, I think I eat them the most on pizza. I like kind of wish I could put some on this pizza because like that's like the best combo I think because like it comes with cheese which like neutralizes spice.
Yeah.
Like, anything with dairy or like lactose, I guess.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
neutralizes it.
I know I have water, which is bad. I feel like I
Ooh.
don't have any milk in the house. Do you know? Because I've stopped drinking milk. Do you know if like oat milk and almond milk help at all? Like,
I
is
think
it?
so, bro. We actually just talked about this in chemistry, dude. Like, no joke. I thought it was such like perfect timing. Like water, like for whatever reason it is, like whatever chemical that makes spicy food spicy can't dissolve in water, but
Okay.
it can dissolve in like base solution.
Oh, is that true? Is that why it doesn't
Super
work?
basic.
Okay.
So
Okay,
it's like
okay.
an acid base.
Milk is
reaction, I think.
basic.
And so like milk, I think like oat milk and almond milk are also basic. So I think it works. Just not water.
Because I don't really
I
get
even
milk
have
anymore.
water.
Dude,
It's
you're
gonna
raw
be
dogging it.
tough.
You're
Yeah, I'm just going for it.
I'm proud of you.
You know what? I'm pretty proud of myself too. Thank you for bringing that up. But
The people are tuning in for pizza though. Should we get to like eating and trying it
Yeah,
and
do you
discussing
wanna-
it?
I mean, shoot, dude. I'm not really looking forward to this because I don't really enjoy pineapple on pizza.
Oh
but I
yeah,
am
yeah. We have to.
starving.
You don't like it. I really enjoy it, but it's homemade, so I may have done a bad job. I also don't think my pineapple was all that ripe.
Ooh. I think mine was canned.
This is like a frisbee. I could just like.
Bro, I like this thing is like hard now. Like this thing's been out for a minute. So
Did you-
this
where'd
thing
you-
is no.
Where'd you go? Domino's.
So okay, I had to go to Domino's, but I had a free pizza there because of
Ooh.
like how frequently. Ever since you showed me like the like coupons they have, I've been going there too.
You got
often.
frequent flyer
So I got a
miles at
fr- yeah, I got
Domino's.
Domino's frequent flyers, and so I cashed in, got a free pizza. I would have really have liked to gone to Pizza Kingdom though. You know, the local spot, but Insomnia
R.I.P..
Cookies burned them and the place I get my hair cut
They-
to the
wait.
ground.
Insomnia Cookies
I think
are
it
the
was- I think fire
perpetrators.
started in Insomnia or something like that. So
Oh my
my favorite
god.
pizza place is out of commission.
Damn.
And that's also why my hair's looking like this because I haven't been able to cut it since like December because it burned.
You burned the
out, so-
barbershop? Damn.
Yeah, dude. Two
Dude,
of my
I-
crucial places gone in a blink of an eye.
I was hanging with my friend yesterday. My friend Jaren was over, and he like looked over at me. We were like watching a movie, and he was on his phone. He looked over at me, and he was like, "Do you mind if Meredith comes over?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, like fine." And I was like, "Just like to hang," and he was like, "Nah, like the house right next to her burned down,
Oh my
Like-
god.
like fully up in smokes, like."
Jeez.
So she came by and she had to stay at a friend's place. I have to check up on her. I don't know if I assume that she's still like at her friend's place
Oh my
because
God,
like it was
that's
like
intense.
2 doors down, just like billowing smoke. Like we saw photos of it. It looked bad.
Damn.
I'm hoping everyone. I mean, I assume everyone got out okay, but I
Yeah.
hope.
That's terrifying. I mean, it's actually funny you bring that up a little bit because the pictures from Pizza Kingdom burning down, it's like this little wisp of smoke, and they're like totaled. Like the burning, like the building's burnt out, but like there was like little to no. I guess they took the photos later or something. So it's so sad that
That's
it's,
hilarious.
I don't even really know what happened. All I know is Insomnia Cookies burned down, my favorite pizza place, and I'm very
Maybe
sad.
do you okay here? Do you think it was intentional? Do you think they tried to?
100%. I think
get-
it was. I think so.
No one's gonna
recently-
suspect the cookie place.
Well, it's crazy because Insomnia and it's next door to these two places, but they're technically different buildings. The building
Okay.
Pizza Kingdom and the haircut place are in is staying. The building that Insomnia is part of is about to get taken down for a new development area.
Okay.
And so Insomnia has to move because the building's getting taken down. But Pizza Kingdom doesn't because their building is staying. And I don't know, dude. I think it would make some
Oh.
sense if there was some foul play there.
I think we need to make like a Hulu true crime doc about
think, yeah,
Insomnia Cookies.
I think there's a lot more to this than it seems on surface, but yeah, dude, I'm actually starving right now.
Yeah, let's get
I'm
into this
gonna go
pizza.
for my first bite, even though
Let's
it
take a
has
bite,
canned
okay.
pineapple.
I gotta get pineapple on it
All
on
right,
my bite.
Cheers, lads.
3, 2,
If you're
1.
Eating with us at home.
With the eat along, with the chew along.
Oh, dude. Oh man. Canned pineapple is so nasty.
Did you not get a pineapple pizza? Did you put pineapple on your like cheese?
No, that's how Domino's makes it, dude.
Oh, okay, okay.
It's just like canned pineapple.
I'm
on a
not gonna
pizza.
lie. Like this just solidifies my point. Like I really don't understand the fuss over pineapple on pizza. Like sweet and savory or like sweet and salty like is a tried and true flavor.
I know, but pineapple is different. Like, pineapple is just different gravy. Like, it's the only food out there that eats you back a little bit. Like, there's something inherently wrong
That eats
with,
back?
Yeah, it eats you back, bro. It's so acidic, it like eats you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My
and like by
sister,
itself, it's pretty good, but it's such a strong flavor.
my sister used to think that she was allergic to pineapple. She just like she was like, I'm allergic to pineapple
Yeah.
because like it like fucks up your tongue because of how acidic it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, no, that's just how pineapple is. And she was like, no, I'm allergic. She like made it one of her personality traits. And then now she's like, no, I'm not allergic. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're not.
Oh my god. For the listeners at home, I don't know if it's going to get edited out at some point, but I hope you're enjoying this ASMR chewing sound compilation coming through my mic.
I'm not editing it out. Nah. Dude, the worst part of this pizza is that like the sauce I used is just like straight up marinara sauce from like a can. Like I just didn't have any like anything good to put on it.
Because you got to. I mean, I know you like pineapple on pizza, so it's not as big of a deal. But like, you're also rating your own cooking ability here.
Yeah,
because you made it at home. So how you feeling about it? I mean, from here, it looks pretty good.
Here's the thing. I love cooking. It's one of my favorite things to do. I've said it many times. My goal in life is to marry like a Wall Street businesswoman so I can just be domestic, period, end of sentence. But I'm not good at it by any means. Like not at all yet. So like every time I cook, like practice, like whatever. Like I've only been doing it for a couple years.
Exactly.
But every time I do, it's just like so messy. Everything is like strewn around. Like so I have okay, there's a lot of context to this for anybody who doesn't know. If you're from Annapolis, which we are, you can like host a midshipman, the people that the like that go to the Naval Academy. Anyway, so we have a mid. So not my actual sibling, but sort of like adopted sibling for the past few years. And so she was over and she was having a few of the other mids over like 2 weeks ago because they had just all gotten vaccinated, like the whole academy did. And she was making like chicken, which she was doing chicken parm. And she was making them and she was like, hey, do you mind if you watch these while I go pick up my friends? And I was like, course. And she was like, you're fine. You know how to do this. And I was like, yeah, literally all it was. She had already like breaded it. She had like all it was putting it in the pan and flipping it over. And she was doing great. She was killing the game. 10 minutes after I start doing it, the fire alarm goes off. The smoke detector.
No.
The smoke detector turns off, and I have a very small, like, Westie, like a small white dog. And so I turn it off immediately, and then he's just, like, shaking by the door.
No, Mac, no.
For, like, 20 minutes. And I was like, and then I walk in, like, all of the mids walk in, and they're like, why is it so smoky in here? And I was like, don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
So I'm just not good. Like every time I cook, I just like, I feel like I do something wrong every time I cook. And I just like, I'm using too many ingredients or like not using enough spices or like, cause I like use a ton of spices, but you know how like they smell so good and like so strong that you only use a little bit because you're like, oh, like it's going to be really strong, but you have to put a lot in it. It's just the smell that's super strong.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude, it's, I mean,
what's your relationship with cooking? Oh, my camera turned off. It didn't tell me. Okay. I'm going to start filming again. I might have to cut back to you at certain points. I don't know. We're fine. We're fine.
I was like, honestly, like the staple here, I feel like I cook the most is like chicken pasta. Usually pesto. I think that's like the best. It's simple, super easy to cook. But it's like, it's so difficult because it's not difficult. I don't know why I said that. It's difficult to make it taste super good because you have to time everything so well. Because the pasta, the water takes forever to boil, and the pasta has to boil for like 10, 15 minutes, however long it is. But like we have electric stoves. It's not like gas where like heats up
hate
instantly.
Electric stoves.
And electric, like you never have any clue how long it's gonna take to heat up the pan correctly. So like sometimes it's like you turn it up to like medium low heat and it's like there in a couple minutes, and other times like the pasta's done and finally it's like hot enough to start the chicken. So it's like getting the time, like that's the thing that always kills me with the cooking is like it's so much more precise than I think it's going to be. I'm always like easy, just like mix a couple ingredients together, throw it on a pan, we're done. But it's like you have to time everything so that way things are still warm by the time you're serving them. Like it's very, I don't know. It's not that hard, but it is just kind of like a pain when it's like your noodles are done, the chicken is still raw, and you're like starving.
Yeah. I'm so used to a gas stove too, because it's like I had it all my like life, and you can like see the flame, so like you can see that it's hot, and like you can see that it's hot on an electric stove, and like I'm not dumb, I'm not gonna like palm it, but like the amount of times where I've like finished cooking, have it in like a pan, it's like stir fry or whatever, and I want to eat now, and so like I put it on low, so it's like still simmering, and I eat some of it, and then I just forget that it's on low because like it doesn't glow the whole time. And we also have a cat in our apartment that likes to jump up on the counter, so like it's just so I much prefer gas stoves because you can actually like see that there's stakes involved.
Bro, speaking of hot things, I think it's time you take a bite of your jalapeno.
God damn it! I wanted to do it to you first, and I was gonna do it because I was mad at you for the pineapple thing.
How big of a chomp are you gonna take?
I think I'm gonna start halvesies. I think I'm gonna like. There's a little indent. There's a little indent right here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, maybe it's only a third. Maybe it's only a third.
I mean, shit. I'm not gonna say no.
I haven't thought about this at all, so I don't know if that's gonna make it worse or better.
I think better. I think you just gotta go for it. Yeah, that was a good bite. That was a lot of crunch. That was real good. For all of our ASMR viewers and listeners, that was probably the best crunch we're gonna get today. Gather yourself.
It wasn't that bad for a second, and now it's in my throat. It wasn't that bad, I don't think, because the beginning doesn't have many seeds.
Oh, so it gets worse later on? Oh, that's an interesting
I think it gets worse. Unless this little indent just means I ate seeds and there's like a little break. I thought jalapenos tasted better than this.
I feel
like, you know, when it's on like a piece of like when it's on something, like it's got like that kind of like sweetness to it. Am I wrong?
It's just not.
No, it just tastes like a bell pepper with hot. Just a hot bell pepper.
I was looking forward. I was hoping this would. Oh geez, yeah. This doesn't taste good and it's spicy.
That's why I was excited. I honestly think. Okay, here's the thing. Both of us like have a relatively like. I wouldn't say high spice tolerance, but like we're fine. Like we do fine.
I think we're pretty like middle. Like I feel like we're not like eating this doesn't scare me.
No,
you know what I mean. Like I feel like I can take this and handle it pretty well.
But like it was uncomfortable for a second, but like I'm fine.
Exactly.
That's why I'm saying like we did this being like, first of all, jalapenos the iconography. Like it's just one that. Two, it tastes good. I thought.
Yeah, supposedly.
And three, it's like not like terrible. Like we could like do it regularly.
Exactly.
I think we might in the future have to go up a little bit. Like that was not enough to.
Well, I'm curious, where did you get your jalapeno from?
Fresh Market. It's Fresh Grocer. Fresh Market's the one by my house. Fresh Grocer is the one. It's like a chain in Philadelphia. Frogro.
Okay. So I wonder if that's gonna be. I'm curious what like how spicy. If there's gonna be a difference, because I imagine.
Well, let's find out. Take a bite.
You want to go for it like right now? Hold on.
You know what? I only did part of it, so we got more to do later in the episode. Probably.
Look how, like, can I like? You see how like this is like half the size of my head.
That's a whole ass cheekbone. Take a bite,
bro.
The crunch is so good.
Bro, I just splattered.
This is honestly.
Fuck. Bro,
without a doubt.
All long.
Yeah, it gets you in the throat.
I was just talking about how good I am at handling spice.
I mean, you're good at handling spice, but there is that one video of you like in the communal shower with like the shower head after we ate wings.
Oh fuck. Oh yeah. Bro, look at my oh no. Bro, okay, I have to admit though. There was
See, wait. The reason to listen to the podcast before we get off topic a little bit, the reason to listen to the podcast for any viewers is for the crunch. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
oh my god,
it really is. I don't listen to ASMR. It's just satisfying.
Oh, why'd I put in the top button?
Yeah, why are you all formal today? I feel like we're like I'm interviewing you or something, or you're interviewing me, and I'm just underdressed.
This is the only red shirt I have.
I didn't even wear a green shirt. The only green thing I have is my Jets hat.
Why did I not get any milk from Whole Foods? Huh.
Here, you want some water?
I cannot believe how much I got my ass. I'm on fire. I don't think we need to step it up anytime soon. I think we're doing great.
I think you just got more seeds than I did. Maybe that's the problem.
Bro, wait, yeah. Hold up. Let me do an analysis. Oh, I have so many more C's than you do. I think, at least, from what I saw of yours.
I just don't know if I even got any is the question, you know? Because if that's the case, then I'm scared. Then I'm scared.
I think mine was jam-packed with flavor. Let's see if I can unbutton myself.
Maybe the flavor comes from the seeds, too. Maybe that's the problem.
Oh, my God. Why would I button the top button?
Honestly, my mouth feels really refreshed right now.
It's now on my tongue. My throat's
I know
pretty decent.
It kind of settles on your tongue.
That's, yeah.
It's like a man, like a little man in spiked shoes is just kind of like jumping up and down on my tongue, like in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Like doing
like hot coals.
Tap dancing on my tongue.
Like Irish dancing.
Mm-hmm. River dance on my tongue.
Irish step dance.
Oh wow. What were we talking about?
We weren't talking about anything in particular, but I brought up my Jets hat, and I do want to talk about football. We are two white boys, and I kind of want to talk about football. Yeah.
How you feel about the how you feel
this
about
is my I feel like it's not a hot take yet because it's not like proven, but I feel like my lukewarm take that may become a hot take later is being a Jets fan. Everyone is so hype on Zach Wilson. Like Zach Wilson is is the quarterback. Like it's just assumed at this point that like Trevor Lawrence is going 1 and then the Jets are taking Zach Wilson at 2.
Yeah.
And like, did people forget about the college football like semifinals? Like Trevor Lawrence versus Justin Fields? Like Justin Fields is so severely undervalued in this draft right now. Like he was in my opinion quarterback 2, like without a doubt QB2.
Yeah, he was for a long time too.
Putting up the numbers that he did against Trevor Lawrence's team, like I'm not gonna say he's QB1, but I also feel like Trevor Lawrence might be hyped up a little bit. But who knows? I don't follow Trevor Lawrence that much. So like he's QB2. Like I'll take QB2, maybe QB1 with a little bit of time, but QB2. Yeah. But then it's like Zach Wilson comes out here and like, mind you, cutest QB in the draft.
Oh, without a doubt.
He's adorable.
Without a doubt.
And there was some tweet that was like, Zach Wilson looks like the Hollywood version that would play Zach Wilson in a movie. So like, great, cool. But he's good. Like he's fine. But he didn't play at Ohio State. He didn't play like the top teams that Justin Fields did. Yeah. And then who traded up? San Francisco traded up, and the mock drafts are all like San Francisco's going to take Mac Jones at 3. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, people didn't even like him to go in the first round for a while. No,
I mean, I kind of feel this way every single draft that comes up, but I think especially for this draft, this is my hot take for the episode, I guess, but this is the most overhyped quarterback class we've had for as long as I've been following like football.
Yeah, it's pretty hyped up.
Yes, I think Trevor Lawrence is good, but I don't get it, dude. I think it's just a drum of drama because so many teams need a quarterback this time around, and
it's like half the league at least.
That, like, the draft has almost never been that big of an event for the NFL, and I think recently they're trying to like hype it up a lot more. And especially when you have so many teams that need the most important player on the team, then you can like really drum up, drama and stuff for it. Oh, I stole my tongue.
I mean, it's pretty rare.
Yeah, I think almost every quarterback in this draft is overrated. Even Trevor Lawrence. Like,
I agree.
Some of the things people are saying, it's like, come on, he's still just a college quarterback.
He's like, the next like Peyton Manning. Yeah,
but like, come on, he's still so young. He's not gonna come out on day 1 and be God's gift to football like everyone thinks he's going to be. I don't know. I feel like there's just a lot of overhyping going on with quarterbacks this year.
It's also just like every draft, people are like, who are the quarterbacks of this draft? There is maybe one quarterback that stays consistent in the league every year. Like, that gets drafted per year.
Right.
Like, there was that, like, I think the only draft class that I can compare this to for quarterbacks is the one that had, like, Lamar Jackson and Sam Darnold, like, 2017 or whatever. Like, it was like Jackson, Darnold, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, and Josh Rosen.
Rosen. Where even is he at this point?
I think he's a backup somewhere if he's even still in the league. But like, so that was a great class. But Darnold got traded, and Darnold was very bad for 2 years, but I honestly think that was Adam Gase as well, but whatever. Baker Mayfield like puts up really good numbers, but I feel like he's kind of inconsistent sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
Lamar Jackson has no help, even though he's like one of, if not the best quarterback in the league right now. And then Josh Allen is also really good. Like that draft class had like, I would say probably 2 great quarterbacks that came out of it, Lamar and Josh Allen.
Oh, yeah.
And Josh Allen, you had to work on him for a little bit. Like if he didn't have the support that he does now and didn't have the coaches to work with, like he would be a Josh Rosen. Like that happens to any quarterback.
100%.
I think if Sam Darnold got drafted by the Ravens, for example, like he would be in a not as Lamar. Lamar's like a totally different breed, but like
right. No, I got you.
He would be in a very good position than getting drafted by the Jets. Like you have to have a good group around you. So like out of this draft, I think Trevor Lawrence, and honestly, like, I mean, I think it would be Justin Fields if he gets drafted in a good situation. But like, I don't know. I've liked Trey Lance. Like he has that record where he's thrown. Did you see this? Where the no interceptions in 280, 90 attempts.
He's played 17 college games, I think, and he's declared for the NFL draft. Like, and he didn't even play in like.
So it's risky. Yeah, I didn't know that.
It's a huge risk for teams. But like, come on, he's thrown like, what is it, 57 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. It's something like that. Like
that's like Mahomes numbers.
Like any team, like somewhere I heard was like the Falcons would make a move for him, and I was like, that makes perfect sense. You already have a great quarterback who is still going to play for a couple years. But you can give him like kind of a protege to just watch, observe, like learn from him. And if you take someone who's already at 57-0, like they're just starting off so much higher than most other quarterbacks that you can take the time to develop him into a great quarterback when Matt Ryan retires. Like I think that's the way to go about it. And I always am just so shocked when teams like I guess the Jaguars are somewhat excused because of how like good Trevor Lawrence supposedly is. But when teams bank or like gamble on a rookie quarterback from day one, it's like they've never played against full-grown men, veterans of the NFL, like hauling ass at them.
They've never seen Aaron Donald.
It's totally different.
Stare them down. Yeah, I just think that teams are not patient anymore either. Like there's no building around. Like you have to have a good atmosphere around. Like I don't think Darnold's a bad quarterback by any means. I think he throws a good amount of interceptions. Like I think that's his biggest flaw. But like if he had been drafted into a much better coach, Todd Bowles is like a good coordinator, not a good coach, and then Adam Gase is just like garbage, like absolute like. So if he had been drafted by like I would have kept Darnold this year, in my opinion. Like they traded him right away. He's only been there for 3 years under 2 bad coaches, one of the worst coaches ever, offensively speaking. And so like he was drafted under those circumstances. Give him at least another year. The Jets have the number 2 pick up Penny Sewell after drafting Mekhi Becton the year before. Give him a line. Like no one goes for the line. Like that every quarterback is serviceable if you have a good line. If you give a quarterback,
the Super Bowl was a perfect example of that. The best quarterback in the league,
maybe of all time in the next couple years,
easily 100%, was picked apart in that Super Bowl.
God.
And not on any fault of his own. You saw some of his throws. He was
throwing it
into his
vertical
wide receiver's
throw.
face masks. He's quality, but he had no line, and so he just got ran over.
Like I watch the Bills games. Like I watch Josh Allen. He has like 6 seconds to throw every time. I'm like, if you give any quarterback 6 seconds, like any NFL caliber quarterback 6 seconds, they're gonna find somebody. Like, so I just think draft the line. I think quarterbacks are severely overhyped in any draft. And then I also think like back to the Justin Fields thing. The reason I think he's being undervalued is that just black quarterbacks get undervalued in every draft. Like. Every year, there's a quarterback who like is clearly one of, if not the best quarterback in the draft class, and then they start like seeing the pro days and like speculating on it more, and then they start to fall. Like Lamar Jackson is the only quarterback that has gotten to the level that like anyone in that draft did. I guess Josh Allen made it to the championships too, I guess. But like I think Lamar Jackson, he's an NFL MVP. Like he's better than Josh Allen. Like I don't think that's a hot take. And he was drafted like 30th to a good team already. And then Justin Fields starts to drop after being valued number 2. Mahomes drops after like getting picked over Mitch Trubisky. Deshaun Watson drops to Mitch Trubisky. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, I don't know.
Pretty absurd.
I don't know what it is about, like, yeah, I just think they're always undervalued, and I just think it's first of all, upsetting, because watching the league now, like, the best quarterbacks are black quarterbacks, like Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson. 100%. I don't particularly want to bring up Deshaun Watson again.
Big yikes.
But so, like, why would you not pick Justin Fields QB2? Like, of course, like, he's like, maybe this will age poorly, but like, Mac Jones is not gonna be
right. And I think the problem is, like, teams too often like to point to examples like Dwayne Haskins,
right?
Where, like, you know, they were super hyped, they're super good, and they really didn't produce at all in the NFL. But I think that's mostly Ohio State's problem. I don't think they have very good quarterbacks. I think that they look good because they play against Big Ten competition, who isn't really all that good most of the time.
Are you combating my take?
Am I what?
Are you combating my take?
I think I might be a little bit.
Okay.
But only in the case of Justin Fields, because he comes
for that, you must eat some more pepper.
I hate you.
I had to get you before you got me.
Let's take a look at how many peppers are in there for the viewers at home. I'll give you a look, Casey. Yeah, seeds.
That's a pretty good amount. That's a pretty good rotation.
Hold on, I'm gonna get a slice of the za ready, just so I'm not melting my face. Actually, that's less fun.
Crunch wasn't as good. I'm not gonna lie.
What? Why does it go down the lungs so much? Like, oh, this is bad. I can feel the seeds that I haven't bitten into yet. From the deepest depths of my heart, Casey.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'll take that to heart. That's good constructive criticism.
I'm just kidding, everybody. I love him. I need to slice.
I'll take that in. Dude, I'm nervous. My camera is like only recording at like 6 minutes per thing, so I'm hoping that I have enough. I also did not check the frame rate.
That's okay. They don't. The viewers at home probably. Well, I guess they'll still see me.
My whole thing was just in slow motion.
That one had pineapple on it.
That's the sweet. Like, take the sweet. I mean, I guess it's acidic, but
the pineapple's eating me more than the pineapple. God.
The way you like pie now.
Give me a second.
All right. For the listeners at home, Cameron is still struggling. If you're not watching the video, I guess this is your incentive to watch the video, to like watch us struggle in pain.
It's in my nose, dude.
That's spice, man. That's what's gonna happen. I'm proud of you though. You took a good bite.
How much this shit hurts. I'm crying.
Dude, I'm so nervous for my next bite because I'm assuming I didn't get any seeds given how easy it was.
I'm an actual mess right now on camera.
Don't like rub your eyes. Don't get it in your eyes.
Thank you. Yeah. I need to remember milk next time.
We were talking about alcohol earlier. Hear me out. Is a jalapeno like a really good chaser for alcohol because you just stop thinking about the alcohol?
I think
or is it
might
gonna
make
like
the alcohol feel worse?
Is it gonna like create a bomb in your stomach?
I think you might explode.
I mean, there's a ton of drinks that have like hot things in them or like on them.
I think the problem with alcohol is it burns your throat. This burns everything else. I'm like sweating.
This is that insomnia cookies of foods.
Oh fuck.
Do you have any more pizza takes? We got off pizza. What chain do you like best?
You know, it's funny because I'm eating Domino's right now. But I feel like I gotta go Papa John's.
At Papa John's. I agree.
I think they have better crust.
Yeah. Actually, I disagree they have better crust. I kind of like the spiced crust of Domino's. Bad consistency, but I like the flavor. But I like that Papa John's just gives you butter. They're like, just take
fact
this.
That it comes with a vat of straight fat.
Yeah.
So delicious. But I used to not love Domino's. Well, they've kind of come through recently.
Then the $6 deal? Are you kidding me?
That deal and the $8 large, it's unbeatable. A
That
6-inch pizza for
jalapeno
$8.
cheesy bread. See, that's the jalapeno flavor I'm looking for. The sweet jalapeno flavor.
I think it's fading a little bit, you know?
I think the reason I like Papa John's the best is because like my family, like we would eat pizza like a good amount. I mean, not like a good amount. Like my parents love to cook, but like because they're cooking all the time, like if there's a day they didn't want to cook, they'd be like, let's just get pizza. And they're obviously old enough to know that they hate all chains. Like they've had enough of it, I'm sure. And so we would always go to like a mom and pop kind of place. So like, but because we would only pick one, like when I was young, like up until I was probably like 10, we went to one called Bella Italia, and it was like, it's good, it's fine. But it's in that sort of like middle zone for pizza where it's like not shitty pizza, but it's not like high end fancy traditional Italian pizza. And so I don't love that middle zone. Like I just don't think. I think the reason I don't like it is because I don't know what it wants to be. Like it wants to be pizza, but it's not like trying to be pizza, and it's also not trying to be garbage. Like it's just there.
Right.
And
it's like
because
pizza that's trying a little bit harder.
Exactly. Because we would go all the time, and that's the only place we would go, I would get sick of it. And so whenever I'd go to like a friend's house or like a birthday party or something, like they would always do Papa John's. I think it was just bigger in Maryland than anything else. Like I think it's like the Baltimore pizza or whatever. So
yeah, they're all
it's the pizza sponsor of the Baltimore Ravens. So I just associate it with like, first of all, like fun times, and I just maybe one of my hot takes is that just like I love shitty pizza. Like I would rather eat like a shitty pizza than like a high scale Italian pizza.
I have to admit, I've got a soft spot for those mom and pop places. I think they're delicious, but when I was growing up, the pizza I ate the most of would be like frozen pizzas. Yeah, you know, if my dad was on a business trip or something, it was just like me and my brother and my mom, we just go straight to the Andes in the freezer. You know, none of us want to like cook or anything, and we don't have to like get it delivered or like talk to anybody on the phone because this was just like doing it on an app or online. So I had a ton of Andes pizza growing up. Red Baron pizza also slapped. I love that. And then obviously recently, the boys, all four of us, have a soft spot for DiGiorno.
DiGiorno
crust. So
classic.
I got a real soft spot for frozen pizzas for like the nostalgia, but honestly, I do miss mom and pop places a bit more. There's not really Pizza Kingdom was the closest we had around here, and now they're not. But ashes, goddamn insomnia cookies. But
did you ever do Elio's?
No, I don't think so.
They're just like rectangle slices. And my mom would always do it when we would like have a babysitter. She would just like put it in, and you just put it in the toaster oven.
Wait, speaking of a rectangle, I feel like that's an important thing to bring up because I feel like this is pretty controversial. For us, though, we grew up with Lido.
I love Lido's. I like my parents don't. I think they think it's because the sauce is too sweet.
Bro, my parents say the same thing. They're like, it's too sweet of a pizza.
Yeah. But dude, I love the pepperoni. Like just one piece of pepperoni. I think it's adorable.
Classic.
So I'm a big fan of Lido's. I think it's a good, party style pizza. I don't think I'd ever like order it for myself, probably.
They're expensive, but is the problem. But honestly,
it's also one of the only pizzas I like cold, if I'm being honest.
Lido's good. That's the thing. Domino's is as cold. I have to eat it warm, which is probably part of why it's not great right now. It's because it's been sitting out for a while. But yeah, dude, I think it's time for you to take another bite of that jalapeno.
God damn it. All right. You know, this is probably good because my camera might die halfway through this, so I'm scared. I'm like visibly scared.
I feel like you're okay because I don't think yours has as many seeds as mine is jam-packed with seeds. Like, I don't think I should.
No, here's the thing. I don't think you can see.
Look at all them seeds,
I think it's just... No, but I think it's just that the seeds were not in the beginning. So my first bite had no seeds, and I think they're all, like, crowded.
Interesting.
Like, right there.
Well, best of luck. Ooh, okay, that was the juiciest crunch we've had. That was real nice. That sounded spicy.
There are the seeds. Okay, I got it down my throat. I'm done chewing.
Oh, yeah.
That was like someone had like a sword and just went like at the like
so
bottom
sharp.
of my trachea. It's very sharp.
It's sharper than I thought it would have been because I feel like I can handle like,
oh my god,
I can handle jalapeno on other things, but this was a lot. This was intense.
and that was like those are like slices.
Yeah, that's true. Good point. Yeah, this is so much more.
Because like,
intense.
oh, a seed was just chilling on my tooth and I bit it. Okay, I can hear my stomach a little bit.
You're doing great.
No, because like like we probably just had like whatever 8 slices of jalapeno, 6 slices of jalapeno.
Ooh. Yeah, it comes back to crunches.
Again, I'm not having the same reaction you are. I wonder if yours is just spicier.
Mine might have been Whole Foods brought the heat on this one because that was hot.
I mean, Frogro is a little bit cheap. It's like, I mean, these only cost like 30 cents.
Bro,
so.
I thought I bought a pound of this stuff, and when I got it from the Prime delivery guy, it was a single jalapeno in a wrapper. It was one single jalapeno that I paid like £1 for, I think. So I like need to go back and see like did they get ripped off, or did they only charge me for a single jalapeno? Didn't. I don't know.
Or a singular jalapeno costs like $4.
Dude, I gotta admit though, I feel so bad ordering Prime right now, like with all the things going on with like Amazon workers.
Oh my
god.
Like, yeah.
I did pay a ton of money for it accidentally, and it also is really nice to be getting things shipped next day. But it's like it's like I can't do it without thinking that like someone working like below minimum wage probably is like having to work till like 3 a.m. to like get this package to me. Like, it's horrible. I feel guilty every time I do it.
I mean, like this has been my problem developing class consciousness. I feel like I hate that. By the way, that was a total ironic usage. I don't want that to seem like I was using that for real. Like, I feel bad like buying everything. Like everything sucks. Amazon in particular, because like I don't want to fucking help out Jeff Bezos, who's fucking over everybody.
Yeah.
But like I look like, dude, there was this one time when like all this stuff was happening over the summer and people were just kind of like posting things political all the time on Instagram. And there was, like they still go around, but like all those infographics and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of them were saying like, here are some of the brands that you should buy from that are like positive. And like one of them was Ben and Jerry's.
Yeah.
And Ben and Jerry's like always donates to like Black Lives Matter causes or whatever, like things like that, like very kind of socially progressive stuff. And then it came out that they donate to a bunch of pro-Israel places because I think one of the people who started is Jewish, probably. And then they were like, "Fuck no, stop buying from Ben and Jerry's." And I was like, you're like, if you look too deeply into any of it, you're not gonna buy anything. Exactly. Like you're not gonna buy it from anywhere. And like that's the problem with also like hailing one as like phenomenal. It's like Ben and Jerry's is our savior, and then it's like you find out the thing and you're like, no, never mind. We gotta fucking get rid of it.
Right, exactly. And it's tough with ones like that. I find like there are some obvious like causes that are just bad. Like no matter how you look at it, it's just like that's bad. But with ones like that, I'm always curious if it's just like how much is it getting paraphrased? Like what if it's like helping? I don't know if this even exists, but if it's like they're donating to some cause that like helps poverty, like impoverished Israelis.
Sure.
But it's like anyone who's just looking for that like media attention is going to be like, oh look, they're like donating to, you know what I mean? Like I always wondered, because of how many things people find, I want to like give them the benefit of the doubt, but it's kind of like, it's Ben and Jerry's, bro. Like I'm not gonna like. Why would I think that
it's $5 for like?
Why would I think that
small ass?
Right, exactly. Why am I gonna think an Israeli airstrike is like sponsored by Ben and Jerry's? Like what? Like they're, I don't know. It's
just like got it on the like Stark Industries, but it just says Ben and Jerry's.
Oh my god, you got hit by Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show flavor of Ben and Jerry's.
Oh my god, you got hit by the Tonight Dough. Yeah, because then I also feel like. I've totally lost my train of thought. I had it. Hold on. Give me a second. It's the spice.
It's totally the spice. I'm gonna get another slice.
Well, because we were talking about the Ben and Jerry's and how
in the
and then you get into like how like a bunch of these sort of places that whatever companies or billionaires are donating to and like looking good is just like philanthropy and not actually benefiting anybody.
I'm taking a whole class on this right now. It's called corporate.
It's just to like raise their wealth. Yeah, it's like it's like to look good, and it's not like they barely get the money. It trickles down, and they end up just like growing their wealth because they can like tax it differently or whatever.
Dude, yeah, you get a huge tax,
or like not tax it. Yeah, so like so then you're like, oh, but they're doing good things, and it's like, never mind, the world's still fucked. Like,
yeah, exactly, bro. That's why. Okay, this is the only PSA we're gonna do the episode. I'm gonna look right into the camera.
Okay,
because it's essential.
Okay.
If you see
I'll look at the
somewhere
camera even though I'm not talking.
at a store that says, donate your money here, or do you want to donate to charity? Don't do it. Because it's not your money that you can, like, that is going to, like, the company is just taking your money and then using it to donate. They're not being a middleman. You're just giving the company money at that point. And they're giving it to charity and getting a tax write-off. So they're really not even losing that money. You're just giving the company money. The charity doesn't really benefit. Well, they benefit as much as if you just gave the charity your money yourself. But the company's using it as a tax write-off. They don't give a butt. Don't do it.
And then you can see, and then
the company or to the organization before you slip. Just donate to the organization, not through the company.
And then the company can say, like, Wawa gave $30,000 to Kids Who Care or whatever.
Exactly.
So like,
hundreds of thousands of customers' money.
Yeah, it wasn't Wawa. Like Wawa wasn't doing that. Yeah, I saw that. And then because then you look like an asshole when they're like, "Do you want to round up 70 cents to donate to whatever?" And you're like, "No."
Yeah.
You're like, eh. That's the thing though. Like, if like trying to be socially responsible, it's like if you say no, like I still try and donate to it. Like I don't want to forget it, or like pick a call. Because also like then it's sort of like you're giving. I got into this discussion with my parents recently. Like you're giving like $1 here, $1 there, and like anything that a person that is not a billionaire and like or whatever multimillionaire, not a company, anything that a person does out of good faith like is positive. Like it is a good thing to put into the universe, and it's gonna help something somewhere. But like sometimes it's good to pick a specific cause and be like, instead of giving $1 to this, $1 to that, $5 to this, I'm going to give 30 of my dollars to one thing.
Right.
And then at least and then because you kind of know it has a bit more of a substantial impact for that thing. And you can base it on like what time of year it is, like who needs the most help, things like that. Yeah. And picking out whatever you want to send it to. And if you want to send it to multiple places too, like there's obviously nothing bad. It's going to pile up. It's going to help. But sometimes picking a one place you might see more of a benefit from your money.
Yeah, dude, it's insane, like all of that, like corporate social responsibility and like the way that these companies like use, like charities to just market themselves and like sell more. It's very because we were talking about this a couple of days ago about like the classes we're taking. It's one of those things where it's like it's good to be informed about these things and like educated about that these things are happening in the world. Well, you're just like, damn, dude. Like even the small things that I was like, hey, at least I know that Walgreens is saving hungry children. You're like, damn it. You're like, no, they're just trying to sell more stuff. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And it's just, there's only, with everything going on, it's just like you can only take so much before you're like, just stop telling me these things. You're like, there's only so much. Like, let me believe in Walgreens.
I mean, it just comes down to like everyone trying to sell you stuff. I was listening to a podcast this morning. I forget. I literally just started listening to it. I might make it my like what's hot for you next week, but I think it's called How to Ruin Your Life or Let Me Ruin Your Life. I think it's called Let Me Ruin Your Life. Okay. It's this woman who's like in her mid-20s, I think probably, and she's like a TikTok star who I really, really like. And she just has this very kind of like seemingly very snotty personality, like that's her like character. But it's like she's very well informed and she's very fun to listen to. So she was doing this one that I was listening to this morning about how like a lot of times like physical beauty is what's advertised for women as empowerment, or like that's what your confidence should be based on. It's like, well, at least you look good, at least you look pretty, and like that's not actually going to build long-term confidence. And that was kind of her thing. And it just comes down to like companies and men and patriarchal standards still trying to sell you beauty products or like sell you self-confidence books when it's like all of that work is inwards. Like none of 100%. It is going to be external. Like you should think you look good. Like that is part of confidence. Like you should be like, I look hot today. Like that is a good thing. There's nothing bad about that. But saying that is my only basis for confidence is that I fit into these societal beauty standards is like totally bullshit. Yeah. So I thought that was like really kind of fun because it just comes down to people are still trying to sell you things. Like have like a little bit of critical thinking.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's so disappointing. It really is. Because then it's like, because it's everywhere. Like every company does it. And it's like, it doesn't matter how good intentioned it is. Like a company's a company. They're trying to make money. But it is what it is. you know?
I don't want to end on a bad note.
Agreed.
And there's a facet of this podcast that we haven't gotten into yet. So the end of every podcast, we're going to try and do like what's hot for you this week. We're going to give you guys a recommendation, something that we've been really into. And so that's like a good way to end it, because I don't want to end it like too sullen. Solemn? What is that? How do you pronounce that word?
Solemn? No, solemn.
Dude, because solemn.
Yeah.
Because I always think it's like sullen, and there's like an M at the end and an N at the end, whatever.
Because there's sullen, which is like how someone can, like, you can look sullen, which is like SULLEN.
Okay.
But I think solemn is like
there's that, and solemn
or something like that. If I spelled that wrong, I'm sorry. I wasn't really thinking about it too closely.
Don't take our opinions on anything, including spelling.
Especially spelling.
So what's hot for you this week? What's your recommendation?
Well, I don't want to date this episode too much, but there's really no way getting around this. But I'm super stoked because tomorrow is the second Formula One race of the season.
Cool.
It's really great because there's one of our friends, Alex, and I are really into it, and so that's like really like the only time we have to like connect and like get, like, we'll call each other, we like watch the race together, and it's always super fun. So I've been like following all like the practices and the qualifiers. And I'm just excited just to relax, because these couple of weeks have been like so busy with school and work, and like I'm about to hit finals, so like everything's about to amp up. And it's always just super fun to like take a morning off, like a Sunday morning off, and just like lay back, just watch a race. Yeah. And so I'm super excited just to like take it easy tomorrow morning and just like enjoy myself. Just take it easy.
You gotta take a rest day, take a mental health day.
Exactly. I would love some me time. You know what I mean? Well, I guess it's me and Alex, but you know what I mean. Like it's fun.
Friend time. Exactly. Like I feel I also would love to like actually know. I know nothing about F1 or like any kind of racing. Like I would love to get into it. Like I've realized any sport I'm willing to get into.
Well, I think that's been the most exciting part about being like a kinesiology major. Is I feel like obviously like we're not in class going over like here's ice hockey, here's gymnastics, but like I feel like just being exposed to all of these sport related topics, like I'll see something like F1 and I'm not like, oh, boring, like I'm done. I'll be like, oh, hey, like how is this structured? How's it run? What makes it exciting? Like that kind of stuff. And then like before I know it, I mean, I started liking F1 a year ago because I was bored out of my mind in Albuquerque, but
yeah, fair.
I've grown to like actually love it. Like I really enjoy following the sport now. So it's a sport that I never considered following, before a year ago, and it's not huge in America, but yeah, dude, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Very exciting, very fun, very fast.
I can dig it.
If you can get on F1 TikTok, would recommend. It's a great place to be. But what about you? What's coming up this week? What are you excited about? What's hot for you?
I mean, if we're dating the episode, I've been really into the Annapolis Film Festival this week. The past week, we're from Annapolis, and my mom worked for the festival for a little bit, so we got a pass to like watch all the movies. So they're all online this year, and usually it's 3 days when it's in person, but it's 10 days. So I've got a lot. I've had a lot less time than I expected, but I tend to watch at least like a movie a night, and it wasn't doing. So I think they probably had like 30 or 40 movies this year, and it wasn't doing too hot for me early on. There wasn't anything that I like loved. There were some movies with like some weird politics too that I was like not a fan of. But the past 2 movies that I watched, I actually thought were great. So like last night I watched a movie called Lunana, a Yak in the Classroom, which is every like for the Oscars, every country submits one film if you're not from the US. And so this was Bhutan's movie. Super heartwarming, super fun. A little slow, but like I expected that and I kind of wanted that. And then like an hour ago, before we hopped on, there's a movie called Together with Ed Helms and I think her name is Patty Hamilton. I had never seen her in anything. I forget what her full name is, but it was fantastic. I was like really surprised at how good it was. It's like this single guy in his 40s who wants to have a kid and doesn't have anyone to have a kid with, so he gets a surrogate. And you're not really supposed to have a relationship with your surrogate because like they're not supposed to be a part of the family, especially because he's a single man and she's like a single woman, and she's significantly younger than he is. And it's just kind of about like the bond that they create. And it was a lot like not quite as funny as I expected, so it wasn't like a goofy comedy. It was like pretty heartfelt, and then like honestly it had probably there's my camera. Let's start it again. Oh, did it? Oh, the bat is it because of the battery? You know, it might be fully gone. My video
Do we
might be
end the
dead.
episode on a cliffhanger, or do we just keep going and we'll just have your camera end?
Well, that's how the movie ends. It like has one of my favorite endings I've seen in a very long time. So I really liked it. I really recommend that.
Hell yeah, dude.
I think we can end the podcast there.
That's about as enough spice as I can handle. Ladies and gentlemen,
This has been not too spicy of an episode. This has been episode 1. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe,
absolutely
whatever you're watching
smash
on.
that like button
Smash
below.
that.
Share with all of your friends.
You know what?
We love
Oh wait, I hosted a podcast for a podcast network recently. Let's see if I can remember it. Like the ending. Don't forget to. No, I can't remember it all.
Don't forget to
leave,
like,
it was
share,
something like
subscribe, follow, retweet,
It was like leave us a nice review. It was like don't forget to rate us and leave us a review because that always helps or something like that.
5 stars everywhere.
5 stars. Only rate us though if you're gonna give us 5 stars. If you're not,
100%.
like don't even bother.